I know you're still procrastinating. And that's not always bad. If you're somehow like me, you have so many great ideas, but all of them are in your head. And you're never ready. Let's try to break this cycle together. I want to show you what happens if you are consistent with your art. And I hope that by the end of this video, you will be so inspired that you instantly want to paint. If you don't already know me, I'm Felicia. Welcome to my channel. I've noticed that even if I try to paint every day, the procrastination kicks back in after a while. Suddenly I'm out of ideas, motivation, or I even think I forgot how to paint and I get easily distracted. At this point, I think I should just go with the flow. Don't get me wrong, it's necessary to face my fears and break the habit of collecting ideas only to let it rot in my head, but there's no need to do it every day. I want to be consistent, and this will only work if I learn how to rest properly or to procrastinate productively without feeling bad about not painting for a day. I will show you how my week went and what I painted in the past 7 days. Like in my last video, I will try to find a title to describe the day. Day 1. Facing my fears. I'm constantly trying to figure out a good way to express my love for nature, but for some reason my expectations are so high for that topic that I barely even try it. So I decided today was the day I wanted to try it. I lowered my expectations by viewing it as a practice that is necessary if I want to be able to paint that painting one day. The second thing that almost stopped me from painting was using the high quality paper. I was afraid to waste it if the painting wasn't good enough. Then I remembered something my dad told me. He always wanted me to use high quality paper, even if it was just for a sketch. He said something like, "You never know which painting will be your best. If the block has 12 pages, just imagine you're coming up with 6 really good pieces. And if you never use the good paper, it's wasted too." I always try to keep this mindset if I feel this kind of thoughts coming. Now I'm treating every sheet as a practice until it's good enough for me to like it. And in addition to that, working on high quality paper makes my process much more enjoyable, and so it's more likely to be a good painting in the end. What do you think of my forest? It's not perfect, but it has a warm feeling that I really like. After winning the fight against myself, I painted another painting without thinking too much about it. As you might know, this is some comfort motive for me. At the end of the day, I was still happy with the results. Day 2. In the flow. I thought, okay, lowering my expectations worked well, so I'm going to paint 4 small landscapes as practices. Seriously, I need to practice in order to get better. So let's go. I opened my sketchbook and it didn't take me too long to get started. I definitely made some progress with that since my last video about procrastination. I stopped after 2 paintings, but the results are okay, so I'm happy with it. Let's see if it will work tomorrow. Day 3. Productive procrastination. Here's where you can see how different my mood can be about painting. I wanted to finish the landscapes in my sketchbook, but I had absolutely no motivation and I thought I couldn't do it. But this time, instead of feeling bad about myself, I decided to do something else with my time that would take me a step forward. I took out some of my books about art and read useful tips for watercolor painting. And after that, I peacefully watched YouTube speed paints and tutorials without painting. This way I felt like I learned something I could use the next time I want to paint. I have to learn if it's fear or exhaustion that is holding me back. If it's fear, I have to fight it, but if it's exhaustion, I have to rest or take it slower, otherwise it will only lead to creative burnout. Day 4. In my comfort zone. I felt so neutral on this day. I didn't really feel like challenging myself, but I still wanted to paint something. So I painted this mountain landscape with a dragon silhouette. It's something that's in my comfort zone, so I wasn't completely satisfied, but it was still fun to paint, and I like the colors of this one a lot. Day 5. Collecting inspiration, not on Pinterest this time. That's something I don't do often, but I felt like I needed to experience something to feel inspired again. So I went to a museum with my sister, and it gave me so much. We saw great paintings, sculptures and installations. My mind felt free that day. I could surround myself with so much art that wasn't mine. Honestly, I couldn't wait to come home and paint again. I was so inspired, especially by the fact that people paint on such huge canvases. Then I can paint a small one, right? Day 6. Using my inspiration. On this day, I didn't try to express my love for nature, but I tried something else that I really wanted to improve. It's expressive portrait painting. I love it so much, but often I'm too afraid to try it. The past few days gave me some confidence to just practice and try out different color combinations. I painted for 6 hours and made 3 paintings, 2 in my sketchbook and 1 in a single paper. It felt great to use all this inspiration and focus on practicing and developing my art style. As always, these paintings are far from perfect, but I like them and they were very fun to paint. I will definitely try to paint more expressive portraits soon. So, in conclusion, I want to repeat a sentence from day 3. I have to learn if it's fear or exhaustion that is holding me back. If it's fear, I have to fight it, but if it's exhaustion, I have to rest or take it slower. Otherwise, it will only lead to creative burnout. It's not bad to force yourself to practice painting sometimes. I know it sounds bad, but because how else do you want to fight your fear of not being good enough? You simply won't improve if you don't paint. The painting you have in mind for such a long time will not suddenly appear on the page. You have to work for it. But you shouldn't force yourself each and every time, because that will take the fun out of painting, and I think having fun in the process of making art is very important for creative people. My advice is, if you can't paint, get inspired. Go for a walk, to a museum, spend time outside and socialize. If you're an introvert like me, this will get you back to painting alone so fast. And you have to get bored sometimes. Your brain needs the boredom to find ideas for your next project. Just remember to always come back to paint and treat everything as a practice. This has helped me a lot and I hope it will inspire you too. I will practice a lot in the next days and I try to keep you updated. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Check out my website or Etsy shop for original paintings and prints if you like. And don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.